So I was at the US Embassy yesterday, and I'm happy to announce, or I was happy to see, that finally the US Embassy in Nairobi, I'm not sure if that is the case in other African countries, but I was happy to see that finally the US Embassy in Nairobi allows black people to conduct interviews. Let me explain. I have been to the US Embassy so many times. I've dealt with that embassy for 3 years when we were still processing my marriage visa. And both our kids were born in Kenya, so we needed to process the paperwork in that embassy. So that's why I've been there so many times. Every single time I went, you'd find the people at the gate, the people at the security check, the people checking your paperwork, if it's all good, were all Africans, Kenyans. But when it comes to the window where they do the interviews, it was Americans, and not black American, white Americans. So I thought that's the norm with every other embassy. I have never been to any other embassy for interviews. So I remember one of my cousins back then went for an interview for a German spousal visa, and she came back, and when she was sharing her experience, she was telling me it was a Kenyan who interviewed her. And I was like, are you serious? And she said, yeah. They even started chatting and gisting in Swahili at some point during the interview. And I told her, me, I've always thought it's only the people from that country that are allowed to conduct interviews. And she's like, no. So now that I went, yesterday I was there, and the person who actually interviewed us was a woman, Kenyan, black. And I was like, this is good. And I remember even there was another lady who was telling me on another window, she was interviewed by a Somali guy, Kenyan, right? So I feel like that is such a huge improvement. Finally, I don't know why previously it was only white people who were conducting interviews, but now at least they're letting black people, black Africans, black Kenyans do the interview or conduct interviews. I think that's a good step. That is a good step towards change. That is a good step towards, you know what it is. You know it. But anyway, share your experiences down below. Who interviewed you? Which year was that? Let me know. I want to do some statistics or research.